Well, I think that there's something, before I directly address that, I think there's something interesting that you touch on, which is that to me, Shameless, what the show really is about mistakes. It's about those decisions that they weren't the best decisions to make, and you have to kind of up to them because that's what you have to do. And it's sort of the same thing as family, or you have a family member who did something like I hate them. How dare they do that? That's crazy, you know. And then you spend time with them. Just 15 minutes later, you're like, I love this person so much. You know, I can never lose this person. You lose past their faults because that's something that is human. It's ultimately one of those things that make us who we are, is that we all have mistakes and faults and weaknesses. And I think that every character on the show at some point or the other, they stuck around with, might have made dire mistakes, terrible decisions. It's a show of terrible decisions, and it challenges you at times where I think you're supposed to look at these characters and be like, I don't like what they're doing, I don't like who they are. But what's amazing, the privilege of the show, is that we're able to continue for so long that you can come around on them and come around on people. And I don't like the person who you are right now, but you can learn from these mistakes. And from years from now, I might really respect the person that you become. And I think that's an interesting journey. But that was the tension. To go back to what you were saying, I think that I left the show after being on it for 9 years, and there was a lot of character, but we lost its primary relationship and sort of the premise of the show, which is interactions with this character, you know, its long term lover on the show. And without that dynamic, we explore a bunch of other facets of the character, which were great to explore. But ultimately, I was like, do we have more story to tell about this character? And I was like, I don't know. I think it might be thing for me to explore other stuff because I've been doing it for 9 years, and I think that's respectful time to be doing literally anything. And then I left, and then they told me that I could come back to the show and that there was something that they want me to explore with the character, and I was like, okay, let's see, let's see what you got, and I was really excited to come back a couple of more seasons because I think that some of the stuff that we're doing with the character for the last couple of years have actually been some of the more interesting with them with the character ever. And I think that there's something interesting about finding a person who has had a life of mistakes, but is with someone who has made far worse mistakes, and how they protect each other, how they fight for each other, and essentially got each other alive. I think it's really fascinating. Become married, they have these levels of responsibilities that are just so much more than anything that could have possibly before.